Hi everyone, I'm Nicola from Elimee Designs and welcome to episode 2 of our vlog. So I want to say thank you to all of the returning viewers who are coming back and welcome to anybody who is new. Hopefully you'll enjoy seeing the progress that I've made since episode 1. I'll drop the link below if you haven't seen that yet, just so you can see where I was before and the other projects that I haven't had time to work on just yet. But I thought today would be a good day to record this. So I had a little bit of bad news this morning, and as I find crochet so therapeutic and usually use it to relieve stress, I thought now would be a good time to embrace that and to speak to all of you lovely people out there. Okay, so to kick off, I have managed to finish 2 things from episode 1, which I'm really proud of because these were one project that had stalled for, I'm not gonna lie, a fair while, just because I couldn't decide how to finish it. And the second project has a little bit of a story behind it, which I will remind you a little bit of. So the first thing I have to share, let me make sure I get this the right way up, is my shrug. So this is hacked from the Zigzag Blanket pattern from Elimee Designs, which is free to all of our Facebook group members, and features obviously these zigzag that you can see here. Last time I was fairly far along, so I had done the main zigzag part. I had put the ribbing that goes sort of around the neck and goes around the back, but I was having a bit of a conundrum with regards to the sleeves. So I couldn't decide whether to make them short and have it as more of a sort of autumnal / spring garment, or whether to make them really long and to wear it when it got a bit colder. Given that it's only made in DK, it's not made in Aran or anything thicker, I decided to go for the seasonal change option and go for the short sleeved option. So I have just added some ribbing on either side just to make that sleeve. It's far too hot here today for me to want to try it on, but I promise I will add a photo to the video so that you can see what it did look like on. So it comes reasonably high up on the back of my neck and cuts just kind of lower back, just above my bottom. If I was going to make it again, I would probably make it a little bit longer, just because I do like to have things over my bottom if I can. But that was just oversight on my part. And I made this in Stylecraft Special DK in the shade Mushroom. It's really lovely and cozy when I have it on. So I'm very glad that this is the colour that I picked and the yarn that I picked. And I could definitely see me making more of these, but perhaps when it's a little bit cooler, because we're in the midst of another heat wave here in the UK. And I'm trying to avoid having really big projects on my lap just because it's a little bit too much to handle right now. So let's move on to number 2. So this is the one with the fun story. I have finished my socks. So anybody who watched episode 1 will have heard about the drama that I had regarding making socks for myself whilst trying to make socks for my husband. I'll drop the link below if you want to hear the whole sorry saga again. But I have finished. So I have 2. I have sewn in the ends, so I've been a good girl. I have tried them on. They fit perfectly, as I knew they would from the first pair. And the best bit is there is enough yarn left over for me to finish the sad sock from the first tail, because obviously this yarn was discontinued and I couldn't get hold of it. And this is what I made with leftovers from my husband's socks. So I had one complete sock and then one that was just missing those last few inches of the foot and the toe. So now I will have 2 pairs of socks, one with a bit of a funky toe that nobody else will see, so it's fine. And this one was made with the Stylecraft head over heels sock yarn in the shade Guatemala. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with it when I bought it. I fell out of love with it when I first started making this. And now that they're finished, I am back in love with it. I'm a very big fan of purples, and as you can see, there's quite a dominance of purple in here. But I mean, who couldn't love that combination of colours? It's just, yeah. So I very much look forward to when the weather turns and it's finally cool enough for me to pop those on. So Unfortunately, they are the only things that I managed to finish during the month, purely because I had one pattern that's just gone into testing, so I was finishing all of the samples for that. And I have another pattern that I am beavering away on, trying to get into testing so that I can release it in October. But unfortunately it stalled because I ran out of one of the colours of yarn, and of the 3 local yarn shops to me, I can't get hold of it this week. So one yarn shop doesn't stock it, one yarn shop they've gone on a well-deserved family holiday, and the last yarn shop unfortunately has been struck down by COVID. So I'm having to wait until Monday when I know that the second shop will be back from holiday, and we'll hopefully be able to pick up enough yarn to be able to complete that project then. And then you will get to see it when the pattern is released. I'm really, really excited about it because I've had so much fun making it. And even compared to the 3 patterns that are in testing, this 4th one has been my favourite design this year. So I really, really hope you love it when you see it. Now, things that are in progress. Again, a few ups and downs this month. So the first thing that I started, obviously I'm making loads of small things at the moment as Christmas gifts for friends and family. Trying to get all of my Christmas work out of the way, shall we say, so that I can relax in the final run up to baby being born, because I am due right before Christmas. So I'm trying to avoid being beavering away on crafting items on Christmas Eve, because that could go very, very badly. So I started with a Caitlin hacked scarf. So again, this is from the Caitlin Zigzag Blanket pattern from Elimee Designs. And I made a few of these last year for my own children and for myself. And this one is going to be a gift. And because I happened to have lots of rainbow coloured yarns left over from the blanket that I made for my niece and then the one I made for my daughter for Christmas, I have gone for rainbow coloured blankets, scarves even. So as you can see, unlike with my blankets, I decided not to break it up with the white. But unfortunately, I'm not quite there yet, and I've run out of purple. One of the patterns I have in testing, the Maraquita, unfortunately used up a lot of this purple, which means that I thought I'd have enough to finish the scarf. Really didn't. And again, because of the same problems getting hold of my yarn shops this week, I've not been able to get enough to continue. Now, I'm sure plenty of you are saying, well, just order it online. But between the 2 projects that have stalled, I only need 2 balls of yarn, which doesn't cost an awful lot. Far, far less than the £25 that you need to spend for the free delivery. And so I figure I might just be good and wait a few days. Really try not to get antsy about finishing these. And hopefully have them finished for next month. So fingers crossed. So this scarf, if I can get all of the colours right, is made in Stylecraft Special DK as well. So the red is lipstick, the orange is spice, the yellow is sunshine, the green is grass, the blue is aster, the indigo is boysenberry, and the purple is proper purple, because apparently there are non-proper shades. I think once I finish the purple section that I've not been able to do here, maybe one more repeat of the colours will be long enough for one of the smaller kids. And of course, I want to have the rainbow tassels going along the bottom, because, I mean, who just doesn't love rainbow tassels? I mean, they're just so much fun. So, the next one is another one that's stalled, but for a different reason. So, a few days before I had my scan, I still didn't know whether baby was going to be a boy or a girl, and decided to make a hat. So, hats have been a little bit of a downfall for me for newborns. When I had my eldest, I hadn't learnt to crochet yet, so she didn't get a hat made by me. She had a lovely one that was donated to the hospital. When I had my second, now I didn't know if she was going to be a boy or a girl, so she was the one where we left the gender a surprise. And I made 3 hats, and they were all too big. So again, she came home with a hat made from the hospital donations. So I decided to have another go. Again, I'm going to make a couple of hats in slightly different sizes just in case. Fingers crossed that one of them actually fits this time. Now, this, oh gosh, my computer's frozen. There we go. Is the start, she says, of the, well, what's it called? The Smock Stitch Kitty Hat from Melody's Makings. Get that right. And I'm using, from my stash, which is an extra bonus here, some of this baby Shimmer DK from JC Brett, which is in shade BS9. And if you watched episode 1, you know that I kind of take it personally when the shades don't have cool names. I mean, who doesn't want yarn with a fun name? But I did have 2 balls of this. I used the start of it to make my niece a cardigan when she was born last year. And I thought I would use the leftovers to make a hat. Now I have managed, she says, to do the ribbing around the bottom and do the first couple of rows of front and back posts. And then I got to the point of the pattern on the website and I was just like, oh, I don't quite understand those instructions. You know what, there's a video. When I've got some time, I'll come back, I'll watch the video and then I'll carry on. And then I went to continue with it just the other day, and I don't know if the website has crashed or something's gone wrong with it, but I cannot access the pattern right now. I tried going back on Ravelry, which is where I found it, and unfortunately it's not one of the patterns that you can download from Ravelry. It was just on the website. So I'm going to hold on to this for a few weeks, see if they fix whatever has gone wrong with the website. If they don't, I'm just going to have to frog it. I have found a really cute, I'm not going to say alternate pattern because I'm planning to make it as well as one of my few options in terms of sizes. But I would really like to finish this if I can. But, you know, my hands are, I guess I'm in fate's hands, I should say, as to whether or not the designer fixes the website, whether it was a hosting problem, whether they're deciding to close their business, I don't know. Fingers crossed that I get to finish making that hat because I think it's really cute and the colour's really nice. But anyway, end of me gushing. The next one that I decided to make is again going to be a Christmas present. So as I explained a little bit, I think in my unboxing video, I'm making lots of small things in the run up to Christmas in preparation. And I figure why not use some of my stash up at the same time, you know, win-win. Plus there are some colours in there that I'm not particularly keen on for myself or my kids, but other people like. And I have started some hand warmers. So let's just get that out of the way. This is get this right as well, the Heath hand warmers from Little Drops of Wonderful. If you listened to my first podcast, then you'll know that my lovely friend Hazel from my crochet group recommended the podcast to me. Really been enjoying it, and this is one of the patterns that she has that she's designed. It's available free on her website and I think paid on Ravelry. And I'm using this gorgeous yarn that I used to make another Caitlin hacked scarf for my eldest last year. Because she's not here to model it for you, I will add a photo of her wearing it because she just looks adorable in it. Yes, I'm probably very biased in that opinion, but I'm not going to complain, and hopefully you won't because I'm her mum and you're allowed to be a little bit biased. And this is actually made with one of my more unusual things that I had in my stash. So I had some vouchers before Christmas for this particular shop, and I didn't really need anything, so I had a bit of a mooch around as you do, and saw they had a yarn section. Not tried their yarn before, decided that I would give it a go. So this is actually from Wilko's. So it's the Chainette yarn, which has this lovely kind of shades of pink. It does go lighter and darker pink in the background, and then you get the little speckles as well. But interestingly enough, they've called the shade Purple Mix, even though it is clearly pink in my opinion. But I do think that it works really well with this pattern. It's quite a straightforward pattern. I've just got to the bit where I leave the hole for the thumb. Hopefully it should work up quite quickly. I was just doing this today on my lunch break to try and cheer myself up after my sad news. And I'm thinking of giving this to one of my friends. If it fits me, I figure it will fit her. Unfortunately, it only comes in adult sizing. I think there's a small and a large adult size, but I don't think from memory that there are any kid sizes. So if this turns out as well as I hope it does in terms of fit, then I'm definitely going to make a few more pairs, possibly with some of the yarn that I got from my mystery bag, for some more people for Christmas. So let me know if you've tried the pattern, because I understand that just knocked something over there. I understand that quite a few people have. So next I've got a few sewing whips. Now, because of the heat and the fact that my crafting room is quite hot, I've mostly gone with cutting things out rather than actual sewing since our last video, so I haven't, really sorry, worked on my underwear, but I do have a few projects planned. So these are going to be a pair of superhero boxers from Waves and Wild. You can see the little notch there where the crotch will be, although yeah, that's the back part, not the front part. And don't you just love this fabric? So if you watched episode 1, you'll see that I made part of a scrappy pair of pants for myself using what was left from this because it was just so fun. I was actually quite surprised when my husband picked out rainbow coloured leopard print, but it's fun. No one really sees it apart from us, so why not let yourself go wild? So this is from Little Legs Fabrics. It is still on their website, although when I did episode 1 it was out of stock. I'm not sure if they've restocked it since then. And because he evidently just decided to be bold, he has picked some lovely pink to go with it. And the solids for both of these pairs are from Harvey Jacobs Fabrics, which I got as part of a bundle that she did. And it's a really simple sew, so I have sewn a pair of these before. The instructions are nice and easy to follow. My husband did make it a slightly more complicated than it has to be, in that he likes the fly opening rather than the closed bit at the front. I can't remember what you call the bit down the middle of a pair of boxers. Anyhow, so I have promised to try and finish them before Christmas, because technically they were supposed to be a present last year, but you know, shh on that one. And the fabric that he picked for the second pair, even crazier in my opinion, is this cartoon strip print. Now unfortunately I cannot seem to find the receipt and I can't remember where I got this from, so I think it was a UK fabric distributor, but I don't remember which one. And he chose green to go with it, and this is the green that I used to make, oh, I can't remember the name of the t-shirt. So I made a t-shirt for Rebecca Page, for one of my close friends. There are photos of it on my personal Instagram, but she really loved the t-shirt and the colour was what Rebecca Page wanted me to make it in. And he has asked for that as part of the rest of his second set of boxes. So fingers crossed that they turn out as well as the practice pair that I made. I did a toile in just some plain grey cheap fabric just to get the fit right. So wish me luck in sewing either during the heat wave, possibly not. More likely waiting until the heat wave is over to get back into my crafting room. And I can add that to the pile of things waiting to be assembled. So next, I think maybe 2 years ago, I decided that I would really like, as a family, for us to have not quite matching, but coordinating, shall we say, Christmas stockings. And I found this lovely pattern online. I bought it when they had their Black Friday sale, knowing I wouldn't have time to make it for that Christmas, but aimed to make it for last Christmas. Completely spaced. I had a 2-month-old, and no, last Christmas she wasn't 2 months. The Christmas before she was 2 months. No. So yeah, last Christmas I have no excuse for not making them. Me and my husband bought some really cute stockings when we first became a couple. And with each child we've bought them, again, a really unique, cute stocking. But they're all really mishmash and they don't really go very well together. So I decided that I would like to have a go with these so that they would be super cute. So the pattern that I am using, I will stick a picture up on the screen because I haven't got it printed out to show you, is the Twig and Tail animal stockings. Now, Twig and Tail is a fabulous sewing pattern company. I'm going to get this wrong, and I want to say they're in New Zealand. It could be Australia, but I want to say New Zealand. I've made a number of their patterns before, and garments, mostly for the kids, and they've been absolutely amazing to follow. Now, they're a big promoter of the slow sewing movement, so they really feel that everything you do should be purposeful, that it should bring you joy, and that there's something to be said for the little details. So a lot of their patterns have a section on suitable upcycles if you want to make it out of something that you've upcycled, which again is something they really promote. And a lot of their patterns, if you see from their promotions group, I think that's what they're called, have embroidery details, and they do have some embroidery designs that they sell as well. But they're just so darn cute. I mean, there was a really lovely one of a little boy in a Pathfinder vest that had some added on bunny ears, and he had a little bunny popping out of the pocket that had been embroidered on. It was just too cute. All of their patterns are for woven fabrics. But yeah, absolutely amazing. So of the, I think it's 8 animals you get to choose from. Hilariously, both me, my husband and my eldest all have asked for foxes. And I'm not exactly making them in traditional fox colours, but hey. And my youngest has asked for a cat. And we shall, I guess, have a family vote to see what the baby gets. Because I would like them to have one this year. They may or may not arrive in time for Christmas, but you know, they're part of the family already. So I decided to go with a upcycle / destash for these stockings. If you don't already know, my craft room was the nursery before my kids moved into the same room together, and is going to be the nursery again. So I'm trying to not get rid of my stash, but shrink my stash of fabric and yarn just a little bit, so that when I redistribute it to all of the hidey holes amongst the house, it'll be a little bit easier. So, you know, anything that I can do to that end is always positive. So the main colour for my husband's fox is this blue fabric. I think it's sort of a linen-y cotton type fabric. And this is actually upcycled from a pair of scrubs that didn't fit me. So I think it's a really nice colour, and they have not been worn to work, so the fabric is not contaminated with anything. And for the features of the fox, now the small features like the nose and things I'm going to do out of felt. But for the other features, which looks a bit rough and ready right now because they're going to be appliqued on, is made out of, again, I think it's a white linen dress that I had bought before I had my first child. Didn't get around to wearing because the season was wrong, and lo and behold, after baby number 1, I did not bounce back as all the way to my previous size. So I decided, instead of donating it, I would chop it up into all of the little details. These are going to be the inners for the little ears. There's a little circle for the tummy that you can embroider like a name or a little design on, and a few other bits and pieces. And then, oh, this is where it gets a bit more fun, the lining fabric. So I had got a mystery bundle from Harvey Jacobs Fabrics, I want to say last year, and it just said festive. So I was just like, does it mean festive as in like general holidays, so Christmas, Halloween, Easter, that kind of thing, or does it just mean Christmas? And I got a whole bunch of Christmas stuff. So they were all woven fabrics, and I think I got like 3 meters of 4 or 5 different fabrics, really cheaply. And this is probably one of my favorites, and he gets to have it as part of his stocking lining. So it's got, look, little snowmen on it. Is that not so cute? I do have the snowmen in another color as well that came in the bundle, and then the other festive fabrics are completely different. So I thought, given that the stocking itself, although a stocking is very Christmassy, doesn't look overly festive, I thought the lining fabric would give it that little something. So hopefully he likes it, because he has not seen the fabric that I have picked. I just kind of went with it. If all goes well with the construction, then I'm going to do the rest as baby brain moment. Production line, that's what I'm looking for. So cut the rest of the 4 out in one go, assemble them, do the same step in each one, just because I find that a bit more efficient. And you don't have to really memorize and keep referring to the pattern instructions quite so much. So hopefully the construction on his goes nice and smoothly. Now, I think that is it for my whips. So as I said, I didn't manage to work on the underwear. I haven't made any progress on my friend's socks. Oh, in that gorgeous, what was it? Rum Paradise colour. I am seeing her this weekend, so she'll finally get to try them on. And if they fit, then I can make progress. I'm going to go down the foot, do the heel flap, make the first bit of the foot, get her to try them on again, and then measure how much I have to do for the foot and the toes just to finish those off. And they will definitely be done in time for Christmas, because that yarn is just too gorgeous to have sitting around. So moving on to other stuff that I have found in my stash or that I have bought this month. Oh, bit of a stretch across the sofa to reach it all. So first things first, I'm not going to go into detail. All of my mystery yarn that I got, and yes, I literally want to stroke it. It's all really, really soft and great colours, I think, for a mystery box. I don't think I really got any duds. All things I haven't worked with before, but if you want to see exactly what I got, I will link down to the unboxing video. And so far I have patterns picked out for just one of them, so I'm still on the hunt for anything small-ish, so hats, scarves, mittens, ear warmers, yeah, ear warmers, hand warmers, anything that would make a good Christmas gift. And I've just realised I've knocked the camera slightly, so excuse me while I adjust that back. So yeah, I still have 4 that don't have a pattern yet, so we will get there, I promise. The next is something that I got from my craft group Secret Santa. So I'm part of an online craft group because during COVID, obviously you couldn't really meet up. We're from all over the country. We are still meeting up every week online, and they are a fabulous bunch of ladies. We are in no way against men. Men are welcome to join our craft group, but none have joined yet. We are all happen to be ladies, and there's sort of a core bunch of us who do that, and it's absolutely amazing. So the larger craft group that we belong to on Facebook does a Secret Santa, I think for the last 3 years, and I'm really hoping they continue the tradition because I've had some amazing things, and I have gifted some things that I really enjoyed making as well. So last year my Secret Santa literally spoilt me to death. So I had a pair of hand knitted socks for myself. I had matching hand knitted socks for both of my girls, not just one, both of them. I got some edible treats. I got, yeah, I mentioned the socks for me. A really cute wall hanging to go in my crafting room, and obviously Elimee for Elimee Designs. And I still don't know who my Secret Santa was. And the last thing that I got was this fabulous book. So Crocheted Wreaths for the Home, which is by, oh gosh, I'm really terrible at pronouncing names, so apologies if I bungle this one completely. Anna Nikki Pirowitz, is that about right? I hope so. So this is available quite cheaply on a lot of online places. So it's on Amazon, it's in the works. And I mean, if you even just look at the back, I mean, look at how amazing some of the things are they give you the patterns for. I have looked through all of the patterns, and I have bought a couple of polystyrene wreaths. Although making some of the kind of willow ones would be really nice, just to get me going. But I have yet to get around to making one. Now, whilst I would love one for Christmas, I want to do one for every major holiday throughout the year. So, you know, sort of Easter, Halloween, Christmas, Mother's Day, anything else that takes my fancy, really. I don't think it's going to happen before this Christmas, I'm not going to lie, just because of all of the other projects that I want to get ready for Christmas. But I couldn't not share it. I mean, whoever she was, she spoilt me rotten. The next thing I wanted to share was a birthday present that I got from one of my close friends, Dahlia. Now she knows that I love to crochet. I introduced her to crochet, and I think to sewing as well. And she's become amazing at both of them already. But she bought me this yarn. I mean, how amazing are those colours? So this is a Lion Brand Mandala Ombre yarn. It is in the colour, and yes, they finally picked something with a cool name, Tranquille, I think is how you say it in French. And let me just check. So yeah, this is 100% acrylic, and I think it's DK weight, 4 weight. So I haven't picked out a pattern for this yet. I was thinking of maybe a hat for myself because I just look at the colours. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on a hat pattern, please let me know. I've made so many of the Alpine Nights beanie 2 years ago. I made loads and loads of those. But I haven't really fallen in love with another pattern since, in the sense of I've made one and then not made another one. And the last thing I wanted to share was from another one of my fabulous friends. So this is the fabulous friend who is getting the Rum Paradise socks. We've been friends since we were little kids. And as part of my present 1 year, because she got me a sewing book as well, she bought me this. I mean, look, cute crocheted animals. and this one is by Emma Varnum. And if I can find the right picture, she says, here you go. So you see that fox that's there in the middle, because she knows that I have not a thing for foxes, but I think foxes are super cute. So she bought me the yarn to make the fox to go with it. So these are from Berger de France, and it's the Ideal range apparently, which is a DK weight yarn, which is 40% worsted wool, 30% acrylic, and 30% polyamide. And again, these have fun names, which I really love. Sorry, I'm a little bit sad like that. So the orange is called Vitamine, if that's in focus, hopefully. The red is called Pavot. I do hope this doesn't come out backwards. And the white is called Everest. So I am super excited to make this box just because it is so cute. Now, if you saw episode 1, you'll know that I am not an expert by any means in terms of making amigurumi. The crocheting part I have no problems with. It's the assembly part. I always think it doesn't quite look as good as it could. Perhaps just lack of practice. I've only made maybe 5 or 6 amigurumi projects since I started learning to crochet. Gosh, all those years ago. However, I did mention this to my friend Hazel from my crochet group just yesterday actually, and she has been making amigurumi non-stop for some of her friends and some family and some other people, and she was making the little pigs in blankets last night as Christmas presents for some of the kids in her family, which was so cute. But that's an aside. So she has kindly offered, if I crochet all of the pieces and bring it to the crochet group, that she will give me some expert pointers on how to assemble them without making it look absolutely awful. The bit that concerns me the most is the face. However, I think as I've done with previous projects, I can get away with safety eyes rather than embroidering them. So it's more sort of the nose and the mouth that I have to tackle. And once I have made all of the patterns that I want from this book and from the one that I showed you last time, so that was the Cedar, I can't remember what was it called, Frontline Heroes? Anyway, the nurse and the doctor out of that is what I was bought the yarn for when I left my last job. Once I've made all of those, I fully plan to try some of the no-sew amigurumi patterns that I've been seeing all over social media. I'm hoping that I will find that just a little bit easier to get my head around, and hopefully will remove that fear of the assembly process. I don't think I'm ever going to be a designer of amigurumi patterns, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't go as well. And my kids will love anything that I make because they're my kids and they're just amazing like that. But hopefully my skills at amigurumi assembly will drastically improve. So that is everything that I wanted to talk through today. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing the things that I have made, and as I said before, if you have any suggestions, any comments, anything else you want to know about anything that I've made, then please do just comment below. If you'd enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you click the like and subscribe, just so that you get alerted to when the next lot of videos come out. I hope to see you again soon with lots of progress that I have made, she says. But until then, happy crocheting!